forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift from me, wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby. I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right away, got so much time looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love. The things I love, the things I love, the things I love, 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 love. The things I love, the things I love. Be one of the things I love.
Hello and welcome back to my channel, and I know that in the middle of this video is a weird place to do my introductions, but I hope in the first part of this video you've kind of seen how it has been here in the studio the last couple of weeks. So with the lead up to Christmas, I have just had my head down kind of doing the orders and getting them out as soon as possible. Because of the current strike situations with Royal Mail, I did switch to a courier service, but when using a courier, most of the time the drop-off point was midday, so what I was having to do was come in first thing in the morning, make all the orders and arrange the collections or arrange the drop-off and make sure all the parcels were ready for around midday. So then I was pretty much picking up Adeline up on the afternoon, and that's when she'd go home and do her nap, and then I was carrying on with the rest of the digital work. But it did mean that my mornings were very much concentrated on getting the work done, getting it produced and getting it shipped and out of the studio. For the most part, using a courier has gone really well, if I'm honest. I haven't had too many problems switching from Royal Mail to a courier. I did have to use Royal Mail still for large letters because I couldn't come anywhere in price for that, but when I was already kind of charging small parcel prices, I could use that same cost allowance what I've used but switch to a courier service. I've closed my shop, it is on holiday mode. I did let everyone know kind of on Instagram the behind the scenes of what's been going on. I did post to say the shop's on holiday mode, as well as just a little bit of a insight into me reorganising the business and just restructuring it a little bit. And that had to firstly start with completely gutting the office, redoing it, going through everything, doing stock check, just seeing what I've got available, what needed to be recycled, what could be sold as extra stock, and just going through everything basically just to give myself a clean slate for 2023. And with that came a great opportunity from FlexiSpot. They kindly sent me one of their tables, which you will see in today's video as part of the tour, when you need to sit at your desk and do a lot more design based work, and then also when you just need to kind of be on your feet a lot, which is what I do a lot of the time. I work standing up. I have just spent the morning putting it all together. It wasn't very interesting, so I didn't really show any of it, but fast forward to now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a studio tour. As you can see, it works perfectly at standing height. I have set mine to 94 centimeters. I really enjoy working from this kind of level, and to be able to adjust it just works great for your workflow. A big thank you once again to FlexiSpot for this feature, and if you haven't already, please check out their Christmas sale. I will pop the link below. You can change the worktop on all of these, so you can choose it to do your decor. I was going to go with the wood, but I went with the white. Now for the studio tour. This is the current setup that I've got, and I will be going into each section individually, but this kind of gives you a little bit of an overview of how I've designed the office. I've got Adeline's a little bit here. The shelves I actually turned on their side and I put the white baskets in. This has just got mugs in and just other sublimation supplies. That's for my hand lettering. Then I have the X tool. If you haven't seen my video already, go and check that out. It is a great bit of kit. Over here I've just stored my photography stuff, so I've got my tripod and my photography light box over here. Then over here we've just got the embroidery machine. It is the Brother Innovis 240ED, and it is the Disney edition, so I can do Disney designs. I can't obviously sell those, but you can have them for personal use. Going with all the threads and just the tools I need for that. Then we have the silhouette machine and the heat tape, just so it's next to the heat presses. Again, in these drawers, these are just the IKEA units, but this is where we keep all the materials needed: the iron-on adhesive, fabric, and then this is just the vinyl scrap drawer, which again you can just see all our different rolls of vinyl, which kind of ties in with the two. So that's all the garment stuff. Over in this one is paper and card. Again, just plain card stock ready for the printer. These have been really good units. They are the ones from IKEA. They're just really sturdy and they're really good for kind of putting your machinery on and having everything organised underneath. Then we have the cupboards with the drawers. So this is the little heat press section. So we have the mini swing press, the mug press and the big clamp press. And in here it's not very pretty, but this is just the heat resistant gloves and all the Teflon sheets that we need to protect when printing. Then over here we have the screen printing. So these are just the screens we've collected over the years with some of our designs that are still kind of on them because you can use them again. And the squeegee. Then we have the bookcase. This is my sign writing book that was from my dad. It was his when he was a sign writer, so I always keep it as just inspiration, and I do change the pages around a bit. As you can see, it is pretty much falling apart. And then we've just got my bookshelf, so anything from lettering books, calligraphy, watercolour books, photography, and 5 Minute Mom, just for some ideas with Adeline. We've got my packaging down here, and I've just got the little IKEA dividers in these just to create more sections. Tissue paper, more boxes down there, my floral backdrop, and then again we've got more boxes down here. As you can see down here, this is kind of where we store all the boxes for the packaging. I've got the cutting boards because we keep them flat, and then these are just the photo boards which you saw earlier in the video. So there's the one and the other one's out on my desk ready to do my next video. I've got my dad's old box, which is a lemonade box. I just store all my lettering supplies, so all my paint and anything that's kind of hand painted kind of goes in there. Bubble wrap for packaging. This is the packing desk that I got from Raja Pack. It's a kind of build it yourself type desk, so you almost buy the frame and then you add parts. So I added the pole at the bottom for the bubble wrap. I added a backboard because that didn't have anything. Sometimes it can be rails. And then I added the rail for tissue. Well, it can be tissue paper, but I use kind of gift wrap. And at the top is just little buckets of odds and ends that are packaging. So you've got your twine, string, labels, all that kind of thing. So that's what it looks like. This is just a bin. That's not very interesting. Let's move that out the way. Just some of the shelves from IKEA, which I think these are out of the children's section. And in these buckets is just the quick stuff for the packaging. So in here, I have my no issue stamp, just some antibacterial wipes, paper for the laser printer, every tape imaginable. Then I have my note cards, toner printer, and some more of my backing card. They're all in one of those and they fit quite nicely in that gap. I have the trolley from IKEA, and although it looks empty now, I use it for all my heat press stuff. So when things are being made and they're hot off the press and they need to cool down, I put them on the trolley, because here, I'll show you what I did the once. I accidentally put one on the table and ended up printing onto the table. The ink is still hot, so I transferred it onto the table effectively. So yeah, I keep it on this trolley so they can cool down, and then they're just ready to pack, and it keeps everything in one place. The big laser machine, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you will have seen me on it frequently. In here I just keep the wood for it, and over here is any acrylic. Yeah, that needs a Windows computer, so that's why the Windows one sits next to it. We have the label printer, which I use a Zing printer, which is a thermal 4x6 printer, and it just means I can print my labels effectively and cheaply. Then over here we have my Ricoh printer, which is for my sublimation. And we have my Canon, which sadly I don't really use much anymore, but it is my A3 printer, and I still run ink through it occasionally, pretty much to print gift notes, just anything that I need that does get printed onto card. Again, in these Kallax, at the minute I've just got old stock, so here is photo frames that all need to be sold. I've got some more of the pink organic wristlets, which I have been selling on eBay just to kind of shift stock and sell things that I no longer sell. This is the table from this angle. At the minute I have it on the standing setting, and if I show you the controls around here, it is just as easy as clicking down or clicking up as you need it accordingly, and then you can just program it. You have 3 programs you can use. You can do 1, 2 or 3 depending on how you want it, so you don't even have to mess with going up and down. It can be as straightforward as just pre-programming your settings to how you want it, either 1 for sitting and 1 for standing. Here is my other photo board, by the way, so I showed you a little bit of a snippet of my other one, and this is the other one that I use, which I use primarily for a lot of my Instagram. As you can see, it has lots of texture, and it's really nice, neutral background. It doesn't take away from what you're doing, but it just adds a little bit something else. And then the other bit, which you've seen quite a bit already, is Adeline's little corner. So here is her tough spot tray. So sometimes I'll just set up a quick activity or just something really little, or sometimes she even just gets her chalks off the trolley and draws in the tray. It's been the best money you can spend. It's obviously not very pleasing to the eye, but it was £11 I think for the tray off eBay, and then I bought the stand separately. But she's had so much fun, and again, this one is also adjustable, the legs, so I've currently got it on the lowest setting for her because she's still not very tall, so it's just at a height that she can use. And yeah, it's just been really useful for her, and it helps her, instead of being off the floor, just for it to be at kind of chest height for her. Again, we have her little kitchen. If you can see, her books are in the corner, so she'll just take a book out of her little crate and sit at the bench and go through her books. I do tend to rotate the books, so I just bring them from home into work and just kind of rotate them a little bit so it's fresh. In here we've got some of my old craft supplies, so we've got stamps and ribbons that she can use, and I do have one of her nephew's old train tracks, so sometimes we do put that over on the tough spot. This is her current little setup. So here is her colouring books and stickers from Ellis, her pencils and her little book that she uses, and then I made her this puzzle on the X tool, and then I just painted it with some spray paints. But yeah, I thought it was quite a cool idea just to try something a little bit different to what I usually make. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's turned out. I've created a lot more space within the space I've kind of got to work with, and I'm enjoying the workflow. I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I have got to carry on editing, so that's what I'll be doing now. So I'm going to go and head over to the table, sit down and do some editing. But I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas and a new year, whatever it is that you're doing. And yeah, I'm sure I'll be updating you what I've got planned, what changes I'm making. I'm just really excited for what 2023 has to offer. This year has been absolutely crazy with just me learning how to adapt and how to navigate being a business owner and being a working parent. It's not been easy at all, and I think it's just been about me really learning how to adapt and how to do what I have to do when I do, and then when I also have to, I guess, be mum. And you know, some days have been cut short, she's not very well, and I guess that's just life and how things are these days. I am going to leave this here. I'm going to finish editing, and I will see you in the new year. Goodbye guys.